Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. Awesome. So I think there are a few people interested to understand what this social entrepreneurship is. Looks like a very boring word. Yes, we can see from the audience. If we put the word social entrepreneurship.ai, and we will have more people in the room, right? So this is the trending stuff. So good. So that said, we'll just talk about social. Anyone? I think we have a small audience. We can make it interactive, right? Good. Does anyone know about what social entrepreneurship is all about? What is the social war, right? So everyone else is antisocial. Yeah. Yeah, social media, right? Then what is the social media, right? There is a confusion. Social media and then social entrepreneurship. If you're active in social media, you're a social entrepreneur. No? That. So that social is about being with people together, right? That is what that social media is about. That is why we started using the word impact more often nowadays, because the social media has picked up. People confuse that if I'm actively getting followers on social media, I'm also a social entrepreneur, which is not the case. So coming back to this the social entrepreneurship, this is a very interesting area. If we start looking at today, the world has two problems. What are the two problems? What are the two problems the world is facing? Yes, climate change. What is the other problem the world is having? Huh? Yeah. Okay. Yes. So aging population, right? Yeah, we have India 50% is below 27, right? So they're not dividend. What else? What are the challenge? What are the challenge the world has? Yes. Huh? Resource. Yes. That's what all climate change. We are depleting all the resources. We are a 5,000 year old civilization, right? We keep consuming quite a lot. So the second problem is about equality. Right? Inequality is very high. In US today, you can put people in one van, right, who will own 50% of the US van. Right? 50% of the US van owned by few people can fit in one van. Right? It was a bus a few years back, now it's gone to a van. Tomorrow it become a bike, right? The way it is going on. So this is how that is inequality is widening, and in developed countries, right? Imagine India. So that is where this inequality has become a problem. In US, in their own terms, almost 16% of the people in US fell in poverty. That means that even developed countries not able to address this equality, which capitalism, which people thought would solve it, which solves have an issue with it. So this is where that social entrepreneurship is an area that I was kind of looking at. If you look at today about the book I've written, it's called Back to Bharat. The word Bharat has nothing to do with this politicians fighting between India and Bharat. The Bharat I explained is about around 1 billion people that we ignore. Right? All we discuss today in the country is about the 400, 500 million, the top of the funnel, right? Where they can speak English, they have some disposable income, and they have proper internet access, all that. So all of that discussion around this 400, 500 million, the billion people are ignored, right? That's what I call as Bharat. And all the entrepreneurs working towards this billion people, that is where a lot of changes could happen. That is an example that I'm going to give. The another reason for this word about the Back to Bharat is about it started from Kerala only, right? I was in Kozhikode and Kapad, right? What is the significance of Kapad? Anyone know? Kapad. Beach, that's beach, okay. What are the significance of Kapad? Yes, sir. Yeah, Vasco da Gama landed there. So I was visiting an entrepreneur in Areco, and this person was making a machine to climb coconut trees. On the way, we stopped at the Kapad. And I saw a store, it said that Vasco da Gama landed here in 1498. Maybe 100 years back, right? There was no internet, no Instagram, and Vasco da Gama is able to follow us, yes? And risked the life of many of these people and landed there. Imagine what was the glory back then. And all it attracted to this Kerala, this tiny tapper is what attracted all these things. So that is the glory. Can we go back to the glory? Till 1700s, India's was contribution to the GDP. World GDP was 23%. So that's what I was trying to see. Can we go back to that glory? But when you go to can we do sustainably? I think that is where the social entrepreneurship comes. Because today we have realized that even developed countries, there is inequalities existing, and then climate change is happening because of the industrialization of across the developed countries, emissions very, very high. So then when we start building this country towards how do we build sustainably, I think that is where the social entrepreneurship will come. And today, if you look at the corporates, so earlier we measured corporates on the top line and bottom line. You know what is top line? You don't know. What is top line? Profit and loss statement in businesses, right? The first line is about revenue. So that's what we call as top line. The last line in the profit and loss statement is a loss or a profit. So earlier, always we measured businesses on top line and bottom line. And we never bothered about what they're doing in the middle. Right? They do all kind of things in the middle to achieve whatever the bottom line is. They're doing all kind of things in the middle to achieve the top line. So now we have introduced something called ESG, right? Anyone know about ESG? We'll talk more about sustainability as well. Environment, social and governance. Today the corporates are measured on those as well. What are you doing in the middle to achieve your top or bottom? I think that's a great change, right? That means that every corporate today has to become a social entrepreneur because they have to address about ESG as well. So this is where the beauty is about it. The largest yogurt manufacturer in France called Danone. I'm sure you might have heard about the word Danone. It's a $5 billion company. Today they've announced they are a social business. Now the social business no longer belongs to the guys with the kurta and then probably the jurla bag, right? With the beard. It is about good suit guys also need to start looking at about environment and social and what am I doing to the environment? What am I doing to the people? How governance is established in the company? It was established in the Europe many years back. One of the investment called Solaron. 15 years back, he put a ESG rating for Indian companies, and it was really pathetic. Many of the companies did not get happy about it. That, oh wow, how come I was not in the list? So he sold his company to a company called Sustainalytics. They're the largest company in the world in terms of ESG, so went to Europe. And that is the level of understanding ESG in India. But today, SEBI has pushed everyone following about ESG norms. So we have to report ESG norms. So that is a fantastic thing because today everybody needs to start worrying about people and planet. That is what just social entrepreneurship is, right? What is social entrepreneurship? We are not going to measure an entrepreneur on only the bottom line of profit. We are going to add two more P's, right? Which is planet and the people. So what am I doing with my venture to the people? What am I doing to the planet as well as make some profit? That is what the social businesses are all about, right? I'll give you some of the examples about. So when we talk about the back to Bharat, right? When we go back, can Bharat give solutions, right, to this world problem? I think that is the other part what we're talking about. It's about today per capita India's and GDP, right? You know what is India GDP is? What does India GDP is? 4? Yeah, 4 trillion, right? So you know what US GDP is? Yeah, 25 trillion. And 400 million people in the US, right? Making 7 times more than 1.4 billion people. Is good or bad? Yes? But it's bad. But we are chasing the GDP a lot. But at the same time, if you look at their per capita emission, the per capita emission of greenhouse gases, what we call it. So this is what contaminating the ozone layer and creating climate change. I'm sure people in Kerala see the climate change than anyone else in the country. Right? We saw in the top in Uttarakhand, Kerala, too much cloud bust. Right? We don't talk about rain anymore. It's all about cloud busting. So this is about the potential about emission. Their per capita emission is 7 times more than India. Right? Their GDP could be 6 times more than India, but their per capita emission is 7 times more than India. Carbon is the new gold, who's rich. Right? So that is an element about the back to Bharat as well, that these people living in tribal and living very simple life, calculate their carbon, your carbon, my carbon. Who's rich? Yes, somebody living in London or somebody living in New York, with somebody living in Attapadi or in East Gaurav Hills in Meghalaya, they are living sustainably compared to all of us in this role. So that is an element that carbon could play a major role. So that is a trend happening in social entrepreneurship as well, that when we add the planet element as well, and there is a lot of potential. So what I am wearing is just a handloom. Yeah, this is from West Bengal. So this is muslin. So that means that earlier, they used to tell about you can just put a shawl in a matchbox. That is a level of 1,000 count you can make. This around 100 count. 1,000 count means that it will be very, very fine. That is a quality that we have. Now that is what our entrepreneur said. There's no energy utilized in making this product, right? And this is a sustainable fashion. It's a handmade, it's a natural dye. And how can I position this as a sustainable fashion? There is a company called Kosha.ai. I told you, we'll put AI in it, yes? So what Kosha is doing is about they're putting a device in the loom. In the loom, they try to measure about the location, right? If it is Kannur, it is made in Kannur, geolocation is tracked. And then you have a valve set up and the person is weaving. You take a video of it and it registers in the app. So now, if he gives a QR code, you scan the QR code and then he'll tell you the whole thing. Where it is made, who made it, what is the ingredient, is it silk, cotton, whatever the details. Now he's calculating the carbon. So how many movements that she's making, you have that apparel with someone else wearing about, Borglo products, what are the carbon savings? So that is what we can do. So the good old handlooms, but how we can position as a different angle, different position, that is sustainable fashion. Next thing is about positioning to the premium segment. I always say crafts should not be affordable to middle class. That's what Japan has done very well, right? Handmade products are super expensive. So that is what other company, one of my investment does, Go Swadeshi. So what they do is they do exhibitions in US. We do work with Kannur weavers, Irnao, and then Kalisheri weavers that we work with as well. And some of them are positioned in the US as a sustainable fashion. Now you scan the QR code, it will tell you the authenticity of it. Right? So unless I tell you this product, you may not know. So that's a problem in the handmade products, right? If you look at the luxury product, you will have your Prada glass, the Prada name is bigger than the glass. People want to show off that, I'm wearing luxury product, but when you wear a handloom, you have no idea because the same looking product you can get for $100 in some market. But if I sell this is 3,000 rupees, you got cheated. So that is where the QR code is introduced to increase the authenticity of the product. When the authenticity is proven, it is originally coming from West Bengal, originally coming from Kalishiri or Kannur, then people will know the value of it, and then there is a video proof as well that this is handmade. And that is an element about bringing new technologies into social. This is about second example about Go Swadeshis, right? So then let's look at about other examples of social entrepreneurship. So in India, how many people live in villages? What percentage of India in villages? Yes. What percentage of India lives in villages? More than 50%. Around 67% of the people are now living in the villages. So this is what I always joke about, right? In e-commerce time, 2015, we had around 85 e-commerce company launched. How many of them survived? Right? We had 85 e-commerce, all of them got money. Right? How many of them survived? Any idea? Yeah? Yeah, just one or two, right? Probably Flipkart survived thanks to Walmart, otherwise the entire e-commerce industry would have given to be Amazon. Why did they fail, right? Why this all these e-commerce companies, all of them made money? Why did they fail? What is the reason? What is the reason you think that they failed? Yes, sir? Urban, and then correct. What are the reason? What are the reason they failed? Yeah? What do you think? Yeah, go ahead.
All parts of India work differently.
We are a very heterogeneous market, right? What are the reasons? Supply chain, good. What are the reasons? So what do you think? What do you need to buy things online? Yeah? Internet, internet. Right? How many people have internet access in India? Yeah? How many people have internet access in India? 70%. Awesome. Yeah, you have a job in Delhi. Yeah. So during the pandemic time, UNICEF mentioned that only 25% of Indian households have internet access. 25% of households in India have internet access. So that is the problem. But 20% is a big number, that's 400 million, right? But there comes the problem about this 400 million. Who are this 400 million compared to US? We already discussed, right? The 300 million in US is making 25 trillion, where the entire 1.4 is making just 4 trillion. So there is no purchase power as well. So all the 85 e-commerce companies are targeting the small market, which is 400 million. Our purchase power is very, very less. You know what is our per capita income? What is our per capita income? It's $2,000, right? If you make more than like 2 lakhs a year in this country, you are rich. Is it good or bad? Yeah, bad. We are a low income country. You know, US per capita income $65,000, right? To achieve a $65,000 per capita income, what should we have GDP? With 4 trillion, we are jumping up and down as wow, we are in top 10, right? But $65,000 per capita income, and some of the European countries have per capita income of $165,000. Just do the calculation about what should be our GDP to achieve. So this is the problem. That is what the problem are. People are just targeting these people of 400 million, which do not have the capability to buy. That's where the market is in billion. So this is where about the social entrepreneurship element is about. That's what I joke, the SoftBank, right, which made $23 billion out of Alibaba. They've lost 10,000 crores in India, investing in all these e-commerce. That's what I joke about. Gandhi told 100 years back, India lived in villages. SoftBank spent 10,000 crores to find that out. Yes. So this is the reality about the social entrepreneur. That is what many of the social entrepreneurs are focused on. The first category is about trending sector. They just copy what is happening. The second category is about understanding India's problem. That's what I call about India's strength is about our problems, and we have some element of technology, people. We combine all this, amazing. That's what example about handlooms today. There are 9 million weavers in the country, and there is very small amount compared to probably IT. There is ITs are almost same amount. That industry is producing $350 billion. So how can we make this 9 million people to produce a little bit more? I think that is an element of what the social entrepreneurs are doing. So similarly about the climate change problem, and we know about waste everywhere, right? This waste management is becoming a huge problem in every town, every city, and that is what Bill Martin saw us. So she was taking some of her friends to Madurai temple and from Germany. So they saw that and said, "Why your place is so filthy?" So that's when she realized about, wow, they're living around the filth. That does not even bother us. You see a problem every day, you become numb to the problem. You become indifferent. The problem does not bother you. So she realized about I have to do something. She went back to Bangalore, quit the job, and analyzed it. Bangalore made 6,500 tons of waste every day, right? And now she was trying to work out about what can you do with this thing. As an ordinary citizen, they will complain about the problem, corruption, politician, all that stuff. But entrepreneur never complains, because every problem is a what? Opportunity. That's what she realized. About 40% is bulk generated. IIM Bangalore, where I am sitting, we make almost 1 ton every day. She comes to IIM and tells them that I will make you zero waste campus. Because today, if you say waste management, people say give me a PET bottle, I will recycle. Give me a paper, I will recycle. But you give them your soil sanitary napkin, give the soil diaper, will they recycle? Will they pay money for your soil sanitary napkin? They're not. That means that they're not a waste management company, they're a trader. They're taking something valuable. Zero value waste or no contaminating water body. Then you have a grocery bag in half-eaten idli in it, a counter eat the idli and chokes in the plastic and dies. So this is what we must add to address this problem. I should not pay to the customer for his waste. He should pay money to me to manage his waste. So change the customer behavior. Right? The customer behavior change, how that happened is you have to pay me, but I will manage all your waste. Your valuable waste, zero value waste, all the waste, I will make you zero waste campus. That is about customer behavior change. If you incentivize the bad behavior, it's going to increase. Right? If you punish the bad behavior, you stop. Today at IIM, earlier in every classroom, every student had a PET bottle, water bottle. Because every kg extra produced, you have to pay money. Right? You stop now, all of us have to carry water bottles now. So this is about the behavior change automatically, right? But if you reduce the waste, my revenue goes down, isn't it? So I'm making 1 ton today, I keep telling you to recycle. So tomorrow you are making only 500 kg of waste, my revenue will go down, right? That is why it is social business. I'm not looking at profit alone, I'm looking at the planet also. Right? So this is about the new era, about how entrepreneurs start looking at the business. It's not always chasing the top line and bottom line. You also start looking at what are we doing to the planet and people. That's what Saha's motto is about: reduce of creation of waste and reuse the waste and then recycle. So this is the motto of this company. If they do, all the customer do all this company will go out of business. She says, that's what I want. Right? If everybody does this, there won't be any waste existing. So that's an element. Now, you collect the waste now and you start going through the waste, right? What can you do with the waste? All the juice packets that you are drinking juice from, it's all made by one company called Tetra Pak. So she calls them and says that I have like 50 ton of Tetra Pak, teach how to recycle. In India, we have something called EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility. If you are drinking water from the water bottle, after you finish the water, disposing this bottle is the responsibility of this manufacturer. So that is a law, nobody follows. So that's what she calls them there, saying that I will give you the credit that 50 ton of Tetra Pak you pulled from the field, and you can take credit and go apply to the pollution code that I've been following the APR law. And that is the part. So now look at that SARS offices, the tables and the roof, the factory roof all made with recycled Tetra Pak. So the company taught them how to recycle, so now they make the plywood kind of sheets you can use for roofing. So otherwise they all end up in landfill or get burned. So similarly, right, you keep digging about what are the waste. Now all your chips packets, everybody loves the chips packets, right? It is not recyclable. It has 3 layers. It's all end up in the landfill or get burned. So this is a challenge we threw out recently at IIM Bangalore that somebody find a way to recycle. There's one entrepreneur now able to create a solvent. You put your MLP plastic is separated out. So this is another way to go deeper and dig about what can you do. Glass is not recycled in India properly. We are doing a one group acceleration about only glass recycling. So these are all the ways about reducing this waste creation, and can we manage the waste so that it does not end up in wasting the landfills, or we'll be digging up more and more for the new minerals, new things. That is what the potential of waste management. Now the wet waste, right? What can you do with the wet waste? Yeah, fertilizer, and then what else can you make out of wet waste? Methane, right? Gas. So this is a gas. Biogas is a 100-year-old technology, right? But in India, 80% of the biogas plants are a flop. And 50 years back, government has this gobar gas plants, right? I remember my grandfather having it, and the country thought all the energy needs should be solved with the gobar gas, but it failed miserably. So that is what this entrepreneur so figured out. He said, like, why this is happening? Why this 100-year-old technology is failing in India? It can create a major out. So he started finding out that the input, we are getting greedy, right? If we dump everything, he says it will create a gas. It kills the bacteria. The output has impurities. It has H2S, it has moisture, it has carbon dioxide. If you have all of this, the burning capability will be reduced. So that is why people did not like the output also. So he now researched for 2 years, utilizing technology from IIT Bombay, purified this gas. The resultant gas, methane content is 98%. He took a license, explosive license, put in a cylinder. He made India's first sellable, right, portable gas cylinder. You can buy the biogas cylinder. It is compressed. That is his IP, right? He compressed the biogas so that it can come with a lot of pressure. Now in LPG, right, what is in it? It is in what form? What is in it in the LPG cylinders? Gas. Is it gas form or liquid form? Liquid form. So when the element changes from liquid to gas, there is energy loss. And also it cannot consume everything. If you took your empty cylinder, you just shake it, you have little liquid left. Because it cannot convert into gas. Because you are losing 10% every cylinder, all of us. So with the gas, we are 100%. So restaurants today buy a cylinder saving 15% compared to LPG. And he takes a CNG bus, CNG car vehicle, put his gas in front. That's what he did. He took few Mahindra trucks, put this his gas, it was running fine. Mahindra was wondering, wow, what is happening in Bangalore? At that time, there was no CNG. So now Mahindra, we have a joint venture with Mahindra, is doing some 100-year-old technology on entrepreneur to make. Now today, government announced that biogas investment is a priority lending to the banks. Why would government is interested? Because what are we importing the most? What are we importing most? Oil. Yeah, oil. And what is number two? We have three major things we are importing which creating trade deficit. What are the two? Second one. Huh? Oil is number one. All oil products. Number two? Gold. Gold. Awesome. Kerala people know gold very well. Yes. So what is number three? Electronics. Yes. So this is where that Make in India all this happening. So why government is interested? Because today India produces 1,60,000 ton of waste every day. Half of that is wet waste, right? 40 kg of wet waste, you can create 1 kg of compressed biogas. So imagine about the oil import is going less. So this one now we've just launched last week in Bangalore. Bangalore produced 6,500 tons. Now government is calling that you proved making this possible. So now in one place in one ward, right? You put a plant. The plant is paid by the carbon. So then some US company who's emitting more, they have to buy carbon credit. They are funding the plant in Bangalore and they want the carbon credit next year. This is another beauty what I mentioned about how carbon plays a major role. Today is the amazing time that doing good is getting celebrated, right? Otherwise earlier the doing good people are in the different room. All the people are in other different room. Today doing good is getting celebrated because this person is creating biogas from the waste and somebody in US emitting more and they are not following the standards, so you have to buy the credit. So they are not paying fine to the US government, they are paying fine to carbon master. That's the beauty of today how the carbon credit works, right? The plant running in Koramangala funded by carbon, the entire 12 ton of waste happening in Koramangala every day, convert the compressed biogas, it's powering the Empire restaurant fully. And these guys have carbon neutrality in their menu because they don't use fossil fuel, they are using the gas from the thing. So that seeing this, German government gave them award, how a citizen, government and a startup solving a problem. Seeing this now, government gave them an order to do a 900 ton plant. That's going to be the largest in the country because Bangalore produced 6,500 ton. If you have 900 and another 4 plants, the entire waste of Bangalore will be managed. So this is about ability of again a social entrepreneurship, about going deeper and then start looking at about what problems that you're solving. The problem is very, very important, right? All the technology, all the solution, then you start figuring out. You have to find a holistic solution as well. Don't do a duct tape fix. What Sahas did is about the root cause of the waste is that zero value waste is what contaminating the landfills. How do you address the zero value? Producer pays. The person producing the waste should pay to manage his waste. Then only the economics will work. That is a holistic solution. Similarly, in Carbon Master, we are trying to work on this, on the wet waste. So now we look at the water. Right, so I'm sure Kerala has plenty of water. I do a lot of trips to Kerala. I remember one time I was in Kannur in May, almost 12 to 13, and probably they said that monsoon is delayed by 2 weeks, and they have water problem. Right, you have what 27, 26 rivers going around, you have water problem. Right, and this is what imagine the water plenty place like Kerala has this problem. Look at cities like Bangalore. So where we have 8,000 apartments are there, and we have easily can pull Kaveri water, right? The populations keep growing, we keep pulling more Kaveri water, right? If we pull more Kaveri water, the Mandya farmer, Tanjavur farmer will be fighting because there is no water, right? This is what one entrepreneur looked at in Bangalore. He said, Bangalore government is spending 1,500 crores to pull more water from Kaveri, and that means the less water for Mandya farmer and Tanjavur farmer. How can I solve? At the same time, there are 8,500 apartments. They all have water, and water is after you use the water, it's all going to the drainage. It's contaminating the lakes. So he developed a system that you make your STP, the fresh water, it makes it drinkable. Right? He puts that. He has to develop a system. It costs 50 lakhs. He goes to the apartment, gives the machine for free, It takes the bad water and sells some back the good water. But Indians are smart people, right? They say, oh, we have tulsi at home, I can't use recycled water. Yes? So now he sells the water to the high quality industries which require water which cannot conduct electricity. Right? Today water conducts electricity because it has minerals everything. His water has nothing. Because industry needs water which does not conduct electricity. That's the high quality water he produces from your flesh. Right? So this is a element. So during last summer, people living in a 3 crore house, they do not want no water. They have to go to the nearby mall to do the water business. So it become popular overnight. Today, meaning 25 apartment, 90,000 trucks of water is recycled. So all these apartments recycle this water. We don't need any more water taken from the rivers. This is about social entrepreneurship, right? They're just picking up a serious problem, going holistically, solving and doing all this more. Then investing, right? So this is what I have invested in all these companies. And look at that purpose what we have. It's a longer gestation, and we also have a lesser expectation about the returns. But all of them are doing well. Sam is doing 100 times a day today, and they have 300 employees. And this handlooms is supporting around 20 clusters, and carbon masters around 20 plants. All of them are successful, but it takes time. It takes 5 years, 10 years because they are solving a problem which has not been solved for hundreds of years. That takes time. So you need perseverance, and you pick up a very simple problem, go at it. We're all there to help you. Thank you very much.